So this is a little Chinese rose. It's a tree in development. As you can see, it's in a training pot. I've grown it from a seedling, I've grown roots on it, and as you can see, it's big and it also needs repotting, and I'll show you why and how I came to this conclusion, because almost always trees give us hints in what they want to do, what they need. So if you learn these hints, you will learn the bonsai language and you will be able to get better and better and better in making bonsais. As you can see, I've left this branch grow freely, okay, because it thickens the base of the trunk. The secret in bonsai is to have this transition from thick to medium to thinner to thinner to thinner, okay? So from very thick to very thin. If you want to have a good bonsai, you have to know this stuff. It's a form of art, okay? So this transition from very thick to very thin is gonna help us to achieve a nice look of a tree in nature, but also we need to work the design, the artistic part, because it's a mix between natural tree and an art. So the branch that I let freely to grow has done its job. The tree started to get better and better on the taper. I prune it once here because, as you can see, this is like my leader and this is thicker and that's not good. So I prune it to stop the growing here and stop the branch from getting thicker and thicker and thicker. The tree goes straight and then left. I don't like that. It's not good. But I've got a little bud here, so if I prune the rest, I will be able to continue in a better line. But I'm not gonna prune that today. The reason that I want to prune this sacrificial branch, because that's what these are called, they're sacrificial, okay? We let them do their job and then we prune them off. The reason that I'm not going to let this grow anymore is that the thicker it gets, when I take it off, the bigger scar it will produce, and I don't want that, because on these Chinese roses the scars heal up pretty hard, so I want to stop this. Also I want this to be a nice little tree. I think that's what I'm gonna do. The second option that I have is to make like a dual trunk, but I don't want to do this in this case. I'm gonna take my concave cutters. You will also need this. This is a very good tool and you cannot replace these concave cutters. You will need this type of tool for bonsais. So I'm just gonna take that off, just like this, and it's off. Quite a big branch. I can propagate this. I don't know if you can see. Yes, you can. The pot is crooked, okay? This tells me it needs repotting. You see? It's deformed. It got deformed because, and that happened because of the roots, okay? Because this wasn't in full sun. This hasn't grown in this for 2 or 3 years to say that the plastic, okay, deformed from the elements. So this is deformed because of the roots, and that tells me this needs repotting. But before I repot, I just want to do one more thing. I told you this is too thick, okay? So the thing that I'm gonna do is cut the tips of these branches growing from that, just the tips for now, okay? I don't want to cut any more of that, just the tips. So in order for this one to thicken up, I will control the growth on this branch and let this grow freely for a while before I will reduce this also to this little bud here in order to make a better shape of the trunk. I will be using the same type of pot, the chip pot, because this is in development so it's not ready yet for a small bonsai pot. Using these cheap big pots, when you develop, because I told you I need growth on it, I still need growth on it, it's still in development, okay? So when you're doing this development type, you're better off with bigger pots and very cheap pots, okay? This is a very cheap pot, and it's good because it's big. And if I want growth, okay, I want more leaves, more branches, okay, I want to grow the tree, the roots need space to grow, okay? Because if the roots don't have space to grow, the tree won't grow, okay? It will grow very slowly. This is a thing you need to take in consideration, because the uglier the pot and the bigger the pot, the faster the tree will grow, okay? We're not in that stage, because if I put this now in a small pot, small bonsai pot, this will grow very slow, and instead of going forward and faster, because bonsais are made very hard, it takes a lot of time. If I pull back on myself when it's not the case, it will take longer and longer, okay? So let's get to work. Another advantage of these plastic pots is that I can do this, you see, but also this tree looks to be tied to the pot, so we need to take care of that. Cut the wires, and the tree should come out quite easy. Okay, as you can see, we've got a ton of roots here. Let's take out the mesh. With my little chopstick, I'm gonna start working the roots. I don't want to cut the roots too much, but I need to work them a little bit, okay? Because I need this tree to grow and grow and grow. That's why I will not be cutting that much from the roots, but I still need to cut a little bit from the sides, okay, and a little bit from the bottom, just to get more air, okay, to the roots, and refresh replenish and refresh the roots of the tree. You see here I've got a very big root, okay? I will be cutting this a little bit shorter. You have to make little steps, okay? So you don't give a huge shock to the tree every time, especially if you want to develop them, you know, to grow them bigger. So look at this root, how big it is. So let's come with the scissors and cut this root off, okay? I can take quite a lot, but this is fine for now. I don't want to take any more of this. So I've prepared my pot, put some mesh in, I've tied the mesh. There's a lot of ways you can tie the mesh to the pot, and I put 2 wires because I really want to tie the tree to the pot. Okay, so as usual, I'm using big particles to make a layer on the bottom to ensure the drainage, okay, that the tree has good drainage. And I'm gonna come in with my bonsai substrate and start filling my pot. And let's come in with the tree. Just wanna take a little look at it. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, let's check it now. Okay. Push and twist pretty hard. Okay. And let's tie the tree to the pot. I'm using a single wire for this because it's enough for now. Pull and twist as usual. Okay, pull on the wire and twist. Pull on the wire and twist. This wire is a little bit too thick, but it's fine. And now I've got the tree secured to the pot. And come in with soil to fill the remaining space. And again with my little chopsticks and I think we're done here for today. So I'm gonna take this to the shower, put the shower on very good, and keep it on until I see that the water that drains from the bottom of the top is clean, dust free. Today I've pruned this very big branch, okay, of this tree. You saw that if you didn't see it, scroll back to the part where I repot and see that it had a very thick root. That was because of this, okay? Because the roots are always the reflection, the mirror of what's going on the top, okay? So this being so thick and big, it growed one big and thick root, okay? So that's the logic. That's the beauty of this art. If you understand what the tree does, what these little bonsais tell you, because they talk to you, they tell you everything, you just need to learn the language. So we've pruned that off because our trunk got a nice taper, okay? I'm gonna control this too, so this branch won't thicken up too much. It's already too thick. I'm gonna let this grow bigger here, and I'm gonna prune it back to make a more interesting trunk. So the trunk is pretty straight. It hasn't got any character into it, and that's because it's a juvenile tree. A common mistake made by beginners is that they think they got one branch, two branch, and they start putting wires on them and stuff, and they think those are the final branches. This is almost never true, okay? Because especially with Chinese roses, you will be cutting back and back and back and back, and the trunk will get thicker, the tree will get larger, okay, more ramified. I'm sure that by pruning that huge branch, a lot of buds will start to emerge from everywhere now. I've also repotted this tree. I've cut the roots, I've pruned the roots. The roots were very compacted because almost looks pointless. Why did you repot this tree in the same type of pot, in the same size, in the same everything the same, okay? It's not pointless. It's got a very clear point. The roots were so compacted, and they get compacted. They also fill the whole pot, and if the roots don't have any more space to grow in, the tree will not be good, okay? So when they get too compacted, you need to prune the roots and repot the tree, okay? And I've taken a lot of the roots off, but I've taken a big chunk of the tree off, okay? So the tree is now back into balance. When I repotted it, the roots are very dry, and that's because when they get so compacted, the water doesn't go everywhere anymore, and that's bad for the tree because we need balance. The water needs to get everywhere into the pot. To understand more about bonsai soils, check out this playlist here where I talk about understanding bonsai soils and how to mix your own bonsai soil.